Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about CSS animations, how they can bring life to your websites by adding motion and interactivity. We'll explore what animations are, why they matter, and how you can implement them in your project. Let's get started. This is the agenda for today's video. Let's start with the basic introduction. CSS animations. These allow us to make web pages dynamic and engaging without using JavaScript for simple effects. Let's imagine a boring static website versus one with animation, a button that grows when hovered over, or a loader that keeps your attention. Which one would you remember? Animation helps us improve user experience and make interfaces feel alive. Like this coffee mug animation you created with HTML CSS. Pretty cool, right? Let's learn more. To create an animation, we have two main ways. Transitions are basic animations triggered by events like hovering or clicking. Animations, on the other hand, are more versatile. They run automatically, follow a defined timeline, and allow more customization. So, we'll be studying CSS animations in this presentation. Let's see how CSS animations work. To create an animation, we need two things: a set of instructions defined in keyframes and properties to control how the animation behaves, like how long it runs, how often it repeats, and so on. So, this is one of the examples. We have the keyframes, then we have the animation name, and the duration and properties of the keyframe. Then we have the element where the animation name is defined and properties are defined. Let's look at the keyframes role. The keyframe defines how an element's style changes during the animation. For example, here we have a box changing colors at different stages of animation, starting red, transitioning to yellow, and ending green. Let's see it in action again. As you saw, this box changed colors with different timeline. At 0% it was red, at 50 yellow, and 100 green. We have used properties like animation name and duration in this example. Let's move forward. Let's learn about the core animation properties. These properties are like the controls of your animation. You decide how long it lasts, whether it loops forever, or if it should move forward, backward, or alternate. For example, ease timing function makes the animation smooth, while linear keeps it constant. So now that we have studied this, let's combine it all and learn with an example. This is a never-ending box. This animation shows a box continuously trying to climb the slope, only to inevitably fall back down. I could see this being used as a loading animation. Want to see the source code? Let's learn about it. So this is the source code for this animation. We have the index.html file and styles.css file. In the index.html file, we have the loader, which is the container of the animation. We have the box which represents the moving box, and the hill which represents the hill-like structure the box climbs. Talking about the styling, let's look at the styles file. We have a basic background set with a basic color. Then we have the loader styling, which acts as a container for the animation, and it is positioned in the center of the page using negative margins. Then we have the hill styling. The hill is rotated square with a visible left border, and it is transformed 45-degree to create a diagonal hill appearance. Then we have the box styling, which represents the animated box climbing the hill, and it is positioned at the bottom of the hill with CSS, and the movement is controlled by keyframes push animation. As you can see, the animation push is called here. So let's learn about the keyframes push through which all this is possible. This animation defines the movement of the box, and as defined here, it runs infinitely. So at the keyframes, 0%, at 0% the box starts at the bottom of the hill. It is slightly rotated at 40 minus 45 degrees, and at 5% the box tilts further backward slightly. At 20% the box moves up the hill and rotates forward. At 25 the box stabilizes its position on the hill. At 30 it rotates slightly backward. The box reaches the next step of the hill at 45, and then it stabilizes while climbing at 50%. 55% it tilts slightly backward, and then we see at 70 to 75% the box reaches the highest point of the hill with significant forward rotation. So at the 100% it returns to the starting position and rotates backward, and through this source code we get this animation. Pretty cool, right? Let's learn more. Let's look at some common use cases of CSS animation. CSS animations are everywhere on the web, from subtle hover effects to eye-catching banners and loaders. Animations make websites more engaging. So if you've seen a loading spinner or a carousel, you've probably interacted with CSS animations. Let's learn about the best practices for CSS animations. While animations are fun and engaging, here are a few best practices to keep in mind. Too many animations can distract or overwhelm users. We should use it sparingly. We should avoid heavy animations that can slow down our site. Stick to hardware accelerated properties like transform or opacity. We should also ensure animations don't affect the usability for users with disabilities. Remember, animations are tools to enhance user experience, not replace functionality. Always use them thoughtfully. With this, we have reached the conclusion of our presentation. To wrap things up, CSS animations are a powerful way to make your website dynamic and visually appealing. With just a few lines of code, you can transform a static web page into an engaging experience. Start small. Experiment with simple effects like hover animations or loaders, then move on to more complex ideas like SVG animations or multi step interactions. That's been my time. Thank you so much for your attention.